have rumors, and when it first happened, you know, they say, oh, it was a hit from jail, it was this, it was that.
Oh, people said that?
Yeah.
In 2014, an Orleans Parish grand jury indicted 4 suspected gang members on murder charges in the slaying of New Orleans rapper Magnolia Shorty and a rival op.
I think that there's no value right now for life.
WDSU sources confirmed tonight that one of the victims of a double murder in broad daylight earlier today was indeed a popular local rapper. Fans are turning to the internet to mourn the loss of the second female rapper to sign on with Cash Money Records, a national label that began here in the Crescent City. WDSU anchor Rachel Wolf spoke with a local radio DJ who knew Magnolia Shorty personally and professionally. Rachel?
Magnolia Shorty, born Renetta Lowe, got her stage name from the late rapper Magnolia Slim, who was also from the Magnolia housing development. The rapper, known as the Queen of Bounce, was discovered by Brian Birdman Williams and came onto the music scene in the 1990s.
McCoy Rat Walker, Terrius T. Red Only, Freaky Jackson, and Tyrone T-Bone Knockham were indicted on 2 counts each of second-degree murder in the shooting deaths of Renetta Lowe, a.k.a. Magnolia Shorty, and Jerome Hampton, a.k.a. Man Man, the cousin of James Tapp, aka Soldier Slim. The indictment came as a result of a federal investigation by the NOPD and the FBI's Gang Task Force. In July, the top shooter for the 39ers gang, a then 22-year-old Gregory Stewart, aka Rabbit, testified to federal prosecutors that he was part of a group who fired more than 75 bullets into Shorty's Chevrolet Malibu while she and Man Man sat parked in the Georgetown apartments located in the New Orleans East. Let's rewind. Renetta Yamika Lowe, daughter of Brenda Lowe and Raymond Fletcher, was born September the 30th of 1982. In her earlier years, Renetta attended and graduated from Cora G. Woodson Middle School, where she was a pep squad Tigerette. As an adolescent, Renetta attended Booker T. Washington and L.C. Fortier high schools. However, by the age of 12, she had already begun to perform. As a young kid, Renetta's mom gifted her a tape recorder where she recorded herself making music. The rest would be history. Given the name Magnolia Shorty by her homie James Tapp, aka Magnolia Slim, Renetta used to rock the block parties and DJs in the city. Unbeknownst to many, if you're not out the project, Shorty and Slim were rocking with Hop Enough Records while she was still in middle school. It wouldn't be long before Shorty would catch the ear of Brian Williams, aka Baby, co-founder of Cash Money Records. Her first smash hit would come with the song Monkey on That Dick. In or around 1995, Shorty officially joined the label, later featuring on the Hot Boys Blood Thicker song from the Get It How You Live album.
Shut your mouth 'cause I don't hit. Outside the trigger getting pulled. Putting your head on the flat, cause slipping lead on the back.
Never one to shy away from work, Shorty had most recently worked for Federal Express, as well as managing an apartment complex in Kenner. Around late 2009, early 2010, Shorty shot back into the public eye with a pair of club bangers, a remix of Jadakiss' Smoking Gun.
I'm on it. I'm on your mouth. As soon as I get back tomorrow, I'm gonna get me to put the music on my Gmail. I'm gonna lay it tomorrow.
And the collaboration, My Boy, with teenage R&B singer Courtney Hart.
That's my boy. My boy. My boy. My boy.
Let's move on. In 2010, despite some declines in violent crime, New Orleans continued to have the highest murder rate in the nation, according to official FBI reports. The FBI's Uniform Crime Report, which pulls data from law enforcement agencies across the country, shows that violent crime in the nation, as well as in New Orleans, had dropped in 2009 when compared to 2008. However, the murder rate would spike in 2010. In fact, the year 2010 produced 4.8 murders per every 100,000 inhabitants. On record, New Orleans had the highest homicide rate of any major city for the first half of 2010, according to an FBI analyst of data from the Major Cities Chiefs Association. Studies showed that the homicide rate was lower in Chicago, lower in Los Angeles, and 2.4 per every 100,000 in New York City for the same time period, ranking New Orleans at the top of the list. Data analysts would attribute the violent crimes and murder in New Orleans to the rise of street gangs that wreaked havoc in the city. One of those gangs in particular were the 39ers. The 39ers gang, a collaboration of forces combining the Upper Ninth Ward's G-Strip and the Dudes of Galvez, aka 3 a notorious Central City clique named after the hood located in and around 3rd and Galvez Streets neighborhood of New Orleans, was also comprised of several alleged members from the Florida Project. The clique combined forces in the mid-2000s to press for control of the heroin trade in both areas of the city through bloodshed and murder against its ops, such as Ride or Die from the 8th Ward and Dudes Out the Yo in the Desired Project. On December the 20th of 2010, at approximately 12:20 p.m., Renetta Lowe, aka Magnolia Shorty, and Jerome Hampton, aka Man, were shot multiple times while riding inside Shorty's Chevrolet Malibu, with Man as the passenger and Shorty as the driver. Both were pronounced dead at the scene, as each suffered multiple gunshot wounds to the head and upper body. Gregory Stewart, aka Rabbit, Terrius Oni, aka T-Red, Tyrone Knockham, aka T-Bone, McCoy Rat Walker, and Rico Freaky Jackson were all in a white Crown Victoria that was registered in Rabbit's girlfriend, Vanity Vincent's name. Out for blood, the men will first scout the Callio Project on the hunt for their intended target. The whip being driven by Tyrone Knockham, aka T-Bone, head to the New Orleans east, after not being able to locate the target, which was Man from the Callio Project. The men would then pull up to the Georgetown Apartments. A female associate of T-Red had previously given up the gate code and information that Man was always back and forth from the apartment with Magnolia Shorty. After not spotting their target, the men decided to leave and come back, where they would sit and wait for them to arrive. Once spotting the Chevrolet Malibu that contained Man and Shorty, Rabbit, T-Red, Trap, and Freaky exited the Crown Vic, opening fire with several semi-automatic weapons, killing Man and Shorty instantly. Specifically, at the time of the shooting, Rabbit was armed with a Glock 40, T-Red was armed with a cutter, Trap was armed with a Glock 19, and Freaky was armed with an SKS. Tyrone Knockham, aka T-Bone, who was driving a vehicle, was unarmed. While being fired upon, Renetta Lowe, who was the driver of the Chevrolet, rammed her vehicle into a nearby gate, where the men would ultimately finish the job. On Wednesday, July 23rd of 2014, Gregory Stewart, aka Rabbit, admitted to being one of the 5 individuals responsible for the high-profile murders of Renetta Lowe and Jerome Hampton, aka Man, which occurred December the 20th of 2010. Rabbit's guilty plea to these murders and drug trafficking crimes was the culmination of a multi-year investigation of a heroin trafficking organization and violent gang that operated in an area known as the G-Strip. What is the G-Strip, you might ask? The G-Strip is an area encompassing the 1300 block of Gallia Street in the Upper Ninth Ward. Damn near all of the dudes from the G-Strip were affiliated with the notorious street gang known as the 39ers, an alliance of gang members from 3rd and Galvez, aka 3 in the 9th Ward of New Orleans. To date, 15 individuals related to the G-Strip and 39ers had pled guilty to federal drug trafficking related offenses. Additionally, numerous members of the 39ers would face racketeering charges as a result of investigations done by the NOPD, Multi-Agency Gang Unit, and the Orleans Parish District Attorney's Office. For each of the murder counts, Rabbit faced a maximum penalty of life imprisonment, a $250,000 fine, and up to 5 years of supervised release. On the drug conspiracy, Rabbit faced a mandatory minimum of 10 years up to life, a $10,000 fine, and at least 5 years of supervised release. As to the gun conspiracy, Rabbit faced a maximum of 20 years imprisonment, a $250,000 fine, and up to 5 years of supervised release. The other men would face the same, if not similar, charges for the crime. The passing of Renetta Lowe, aka Magnolia Shorty, had a tremendous impact on her fans and the entire city of New Orleans. Shorty's life was celebrated with a huge jazz funeral that thousands of people would attend. Eight years after her death, Shorty, who was featured on Drake's In My Feeling, hit #1. Samples of Shorty's voice was used for the hit song. In My Feeling spent more than 6 consecutive weeks topped the Billboard 100 chart, going on to become the most popular song of 2018. The song would also inspire its own viral video dance, the Kiki Challenge, that would take social media by storm.